You get the story of this Real Housewife of Beverly Hills star who's battling Lyme disease. Yolanda Foster has revealed that she's making big changes in her lifestyle so she can focus on getting healthy. ABC's Cecilia Vega has her story.
It is glamour made for reality TV. The Dutch model married to Grammy-winning musician David Foster.
Hi, love!
But behind the doors of her mansion, Yolanda Foster has been in a very real fight for her life. A battle against Lyme disease that played out on Bravo's show, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Lyme disease has really severely attacked my brain.
You built all of this.
With the reality TV cameras off, she invited us in, opening up her home.
What is all of this? These are like all the pills that I take. This is the one day of, just my vitamins.
To reveal her struggle.
It's such a lonely disease, and it's so silent.
Lyme disease is carried by ticks. After a bite, it can enter the bloodstream, attacking the skin, joints, and nervous system. Yolanda is not exactly sure how or when she contracted it.
It started for me with memory loss and difficulty focusing. And I couldn't read or write or watch TV or do anything.
On your worst day, what did it feel like?
I'd get emotional just thinking about it, how am I ever going to get out of this?
The recovery has been painful. From having a port implanted to get antibiotics into her bloodstream quickly, to visits with doctors around the world. Now a clinical trial where she says these machines help repair damaged brain pathways.
I'm determined and I'm going to beat this thing.
Everybody's telling you it's in your head.
She's hardly alone. There are more than 300,000 new cases of Lyme disease every year in the U.S. And even though Yolanda is getting better, she feels she can no longer manage the couple's stunning 12,000 square foot mansion. Reality TV's perfect pad is just too much work for Yolanda in her new real life reality with Lyme disease. So she's had to put her dream house on the market for a reported $27.5 million.
I really am not that attached to materialistic things. I can make any house a home.
For Good Morning America, Cecilia Vega, ABC News, Malibu, California.
Okay, let's talk about this now with our medical contributor, Dr. Jen Ash. Now, Lyme disease is pretty common, about 300,000 cases a year. I was surprised to see, though, that it could progress this far.
It absolutely can, and the problem, you guys, is that the symptoms are so vague. They overlap with a lot of other medical conditions. That occurs in about 70 or 80% of people who get bitten by this deer tick. This is a bacterial infection. But the remaining 20 to 30% never get that hallmark bullseye rash. They instead get these vague symptoms like fatigue, chills, body aches, fever, headache. I mean, we all get exactly. And that's the problem, is that it can be undetected, misdiagnosed, and progress from days to weeks to months to years.
How debilitating can this be?
It can be incredibly debilitating. This can affect basically every major organ system in the body. It's incredible to think that so many bad things can come from such a small deer tick, but it can hit the joints, it can hit the heart, it can hit the central nervous system, and even disturb mood. So it's a big problem.
So, and what's the prognosis here in this case?
It's variable, Lara. I mean, in some cases, if it's treated with simple course of antibiotics, people can recover and do very well. But it's very variable, it's uncertain, and people who have had it for years they can go into a chronic disease state. So even though we see more of it in the months of the summer, it is detected every month out of the year.
Well, I was just going to say that, with Serena, spring comes, you start wrapping them up. You look over them if they're in heavily wooded areas. What else, though, can people do?
Well, first thing is look at a map of the country, because, again, these deer ticks tend to be concentrated in the Northeast, in Minnesota, in Wisconsin. So if you're going to be traveling to those areas, your awareness needs to be up. And then when you're coming back in from inside, like you're saying, Josh, inspect your body, inspect your clothes, inspect your pets. These deer ticks tend to go to the armpits and the groin, and shower them off.
Good advice, Dr. Jen Ash.
All right, you guys.
All right, thank you.